All right, everyone. Welcome to today's Grow Nebraska webinar. Be sure to find the chat box below as well as the Q&A section and pop a hello in the chat. But today we're going to cover an SEO bootcamp, turning your website into a lead generation machine. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, I'm just going to share a video from Center for Rule of Affairs. So huge thank you to them for being a sponsor and a partner with Grow Nebraska. They do a lot of amazing things. So I'll just quickly let this play here.
Hello, and thank you for joining today's webinar, sponsored by the Center for Rural Affairs. My name is Nikki Chitwood, and I'm the Panhandle Loan Specialist. As one of the many services we provide, I am here to introduce to you our lending services. When a bank can't help you with your dreams of homeownership or growing a business, the Center for Rural Affairs can. We offer coaching and financing to help you become a homeowner and start or grow a sustainable business. Please feel free to contact me at 308-631-0157, or you can visit cfra.org for more information.
Right. Shout out to Nikki for the amazing video. And our featured sponsor for this month is Nebraska Tourism Commission, who we actually have partnered with for the Market Tech Conference and have carried their merchandise. So a huge thank you to them. And our featured member is Glowing Creation, and they have been a member since 2022. So if you're looking for any fun spring decor for your yard, highly recommend Glowing Creation. That they are so cute. And then this week's presenter is Adam, and you may recognize him from Market Tech. He actually did 2 breakout sessions for us, so we're happy to have him here and doing a webinar for us. So I'll go ahead and let Adam take over, and if you have any questions, be sure to pop them in the chat or the Q&A, and he would be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you so much, Zoe. I appreciate it. So yeah, thanks everyone for being here. Like Zoe said, I had a couple of sessions at Market Tech Conference, and after a couple of those, I got some questions like, what is SEO? And it made me feel terrible because the topics were a little bit more advanced. So I wanted to use this opportunity to kind of bring it back to basics, talk a little bit about what SEO is it right for your business, and how can you get started on your SEO journey? So my name is Adam DeFrisco. I am a senior SEO strategist at a marketing agency called Atagrow. I'm based out of here in Chicago, and we had some really nice weather lately. So in order to get my enthusiasm up about summer, I have some camping images and all of that throughout, purely for my own entertainment. But really, what an SEO strategist does, my whole job, what I do every day, is stare at this. I work solely in search bars, finding clients for businesses wherever they search, whether that be Google or Bing or Yahoo. Google holds about a 92% market share of all search engines around the world. So mainly we focus on Google, but what's good for Google generally is good for the other search engines. So in my daily work, I see a lot of weird things typed into the Google search bar. For example, one of my favorites here, my cat wants to kill me. This is a pretty interesting search that is typed into the search bar more often than you might think. Using SEO tools, we can actually see how many estimated monthly searches this gets. And we're looking at about 50. 50 people a month are Googling why their cat wants to kill them. People will use the search bar to look for almost anything. This one gets a little creepier. Are babies dishwasher safe? Now, if you were to bet on whether my cat wants to kill me gets more or less searches than are babies dishwasher safe, you might be wrong, because 93 people a month are searching our baby's dishwasher safe. I'm a new dad, and I am pretty confident by looking at this that some people, A, should not be having children, and B, maybe shouldn't have access to the Google search bar. You know how when you type into Google, sometimes it'll auto-suggest, here's what you're probably going to ask. Well, I was doing one the other day. I was looking for baby names, actually, and I came across this one. Can I name my and the Google autocomplete came up, the suggested searches, the number one, can I name my child Shrek? A little creepy. Like I said, some people probably shouldn't be in charge of naming their children. Also, I don't know why they expect Google to be able to answer this, but to each their own, I guess. Finally, I got one more example for you. This one's bizarre. How long do short people live? Now, if we look at the two up top, the search volumes of 50 and 93, how would you think, how many people do you think are searching for how long do short people live? If you made a guess, you're probably wrong because it's 74,000 people a month are searching how long do short people live. So my point here is that people type everything into the Google search bar. And this is what I do, not these queries, definitely not these, but a little more relevant ones. And the cool thing about Google is they have information for everything. Their whole mission statement is to organize the world's information. So sure enough, if you type these into Google, you're going to see results. A lot of them are from news sources, as you can see. This CNBC article, shorter people may live longer. I think that's why this search gets so many searches every month. And luckily, so Google is very smart. Not only are they analyzing the search itself, but what you mean by searching something. So are baby's dishwasher safe? To put your mind at ease, Google is assuming, I'm hoping, rightly assuming, that the searcher here is actually searching for our baby products, dishwasher safe, baby bottles, baby toys. And that's what the result is here on the right, you can see. And the number one ranking website is Cascade Automatic Dishwasher Detergent. So they're using this as an opportunity to give their brand more visibility. And this is my whole job. It's taking searches that are relevant to your industry and trying to get your brand more visibility and hopefully get you more leads and conversions and phone calls, whatever that may be for you. So what is SEO? Excuse me. SEO is exactly that. It's optimizing your website, working on your website for increased visibility on Google, Bing, or really anywhere else people search online. Like I mentioned, it's mainly Google is what you want to focus on. That's where the most searchers end up searching, but it could be other platforms as well. And I do want to mention what SEO is not, because there's a lot of SEO experts out there, whether they're really experts or they're just, spammers, which I'll talk about a little bit. But there's a lot of misinformation. So this is what SEO is. It's optimizing your website here, so you show up here. SEO is not pay-per-click advertising. So Google Ads. These are two very different things. When you search on Google, the top results are almost always going to be sponsored posts or ads. These are pay-per-click, which means that you're paying Google to show up in these spots. And every time a user clicks on one of these results, you are paying for that click into your website. This works in a completely different way than SEO, organic search. The organic results below this, there's no paying Google to rank higher or to see your website differently. It is all earned. SEO is also not spamming, hacking, or cheating. I was on a call once with somebody that was wondering about SEO, and they said, "Oh, well, can't you just hack into Google and get me ranking higher?" I'm like, okay, you might have to slow down a little bit. That's not what we do here. So SEO is not this type of practice. Does spamming and cheating Google's algorithm work? Yes, it does. Is it sustainable? Not at all. Google and spammers are in a constant cat and mouse back and forth game. Spammers will find a loophole or a little hack that they can get in there and get their site ranking really fast. Google will catch up to it and they'll drop it completely from their search results. So if you are a spammer and you're looking to get, a bunch of clicks for 2 days, then you might want to look into some of these shady tactics. But if you're a legitimate business that wants to grow your brand and grow visibility and keep that going for a long time, spamming and cheating have nothing to do with what we're trying to accomplish here. The last thing, and this is a little bit of a nuanced one, but SEO is not web development or user experience, web design. There is a lot of overlap. For example, in my daily work, I work with all sorts of web developers and web development teams, and I can understand code, and that's pretty much as far as it goes. I couldn't build you a website from scratch, but I work with developers and tell them, hey, what if we move this over here? Or what if we change this? Or what if we shrink the size of these images in the code so that it loads faster? Things like that. So these are very different disciplines, but they have a lot of overlap. All right, so now that we understand SEO, the definition of SEO, what it is, what it isn't, let's talk about how successful can your business be just by using SEO. And I want to shoot high for this first slide. So let's talk about one of the most successful SEO teams that's out there. I actually got my marketing career started in the travel industry. A couple of small travel agencies, one over in China, one here in the US. And our biggest competitor always was TripAdvisor. If you're Googling things to do in Chicago or what season is best to visit Hawaii, TripAdvisor will almost always come up in the top 3 results at least. Now, this wasn't by accident. It's not just because they're a big company. It's because they do things the right way. If we look at their estimated, this is again using an SEO tool, we can see estimated organic traffic. How many clicks do they get per month just from SEO, not from Google Ads, not from social media, not from email marketing, just from organic search. And we can see here that it's giving us 488 million clicks a month. Now, this is a massive amount of traffic. And whatever they want to sell, whether it's ads or whether it's tour packages, this is a lot of opportunities to convert. What this tool also does is tells us how many keywords. So my cat wants to kill me. That search term, that's also called a keyword sometimes, or a search query. We can see that there's an estimated 44 million different keywords that TripAdvisor is in Google's rankings for. This number here, this total traffic cost, I won't get into how this is calculated too much unless somebody wants to ask maybe at the end of the presentation. But essentially what this is telling you is if you were to be paying for these keywords, for these rankings, here's how much it would be costing you every month. Now, of course, please remember that organic search is not paid. We are not paying for results. It's all earned, but this is giving you a little bit of an estimate. Now, like I said, this does not happen on accident. TripAdvisor, if I went onto LinkedIn and looked at how many people in their organization have SEO in their title. And it turns out about 311 employees at TripAdvisor have SEO in their title. So this is a massive team. I imagine it's much smaller than this. It's LinkedIn, it's a little funky. But if it's truly 311, that's the biggest SEO team that I would have heard of. It takes a lot of different people with a lot of experience to make an SEO program that's this successful. Now, I haven't looked at the participant list in a while, but I imagine nobody in here is from TripAdvisor or any other website getting, hundreds of millions of clicks a month. So let's dial it back and look at something a little closer to home, closer to my home. This is Alliance Bakery, right around the corner from me here in Chicago. This was opened up by a really talented baker. They have great cookies, wedding cakes, all of that. And the owner of Alliance Bakery decided to go forward with SEO as one of their leading marketing channels. Of course, they also do some social media, they do some email marketing, but it was the choice of this bakery to really lean into search and see how successful they could be there. And they've done really, really well. So again, this is a small, local brick and mortar bakery. And you can see they're ranking for about 4 8.8 thousand keywords. Those keywords, here are some examples of the keywords that they're ranking for: custom cookies, bakery, custom wedding cakes, things like that. What this is resulting in is about 5,000 clicks for every month. So a lot of these turn into leads into their shop, phone calls, all of that. Once you get them onto the website, converting is kind of a different story. But this is a lot of clicks for a very small business. It is important to keep in mind, though, that everything in between, we talked about bakery and TripAdvisor, so travel industry, but it's important to keep in mind that not all industries are created equal. Some industries naturally are going to have more searches every month than other industries. This is a little bit of an example here on the left. You can see restaurants near me. This gets about 37 million searches per month. Now, of course, the near me searches, Google is going to change depending on where you are. So restaurants near me in Chicago is probably going to have a higher search volume than restaurants near me in, Kearney, Nebraska, just because of the population and the people that are searching there. But if you compare some other industries like used cars, now we're down to 246,000 searches a month, all the way down to IT consultants, which we're looking at, 1,500. And then you get to the super niche industries, such as keg line cleaning services. Now, this SEO tool is going to show no data for that. These are what we call zero search volume keywords. And I wouldn't ever think that there's actually no search volume here. It's just that there's much less than the ones above it, really. Why I think that there's no such thing as a true zero search volume is because of today's fun fact with SEO Adam. Google processes about 99,000 search queries every second, which translates roughly to 8.5 billion searches a day and 2 trillion a year. Now, this is an insane number of searches. And even I don't have it in here, but a more fun stat is that I think it's something like 20% of all Google searches, I could be wrong there, 15, 20% of all Google searches are being typed into Google for the first time. It's a search that they've never seen before. So people are searching everything. And I'm pretty certain that no matter what business, there's very, very specific examples I can think of where SEO would not be relevant for a company. But what you do, I'm sure there's somebody out there searching for your industry on Google. Now, say you're all sold. You're like, okay, I'm in. I want some of these, 8.5 billion searches a day to come to my website. And I keep mentioning that organic is earned, it's not paid, but that doesn't mean there's no expenses involved in SEO. Obviously, that's why I have a job, right? I am an SEO, I work for an agency, I'm an SEO consultant. So I work with websites. They pay a monthly fee to me. A lot of organizations, instead of hiring an internal SEO expert, they'll hire an external one, such as myself. If you're doing it by yourself, you're still going to need SEO tools for sure, like the ones I've been showing you earlier in these slides. SEO tools are going to let you know exactly where you're ranking. It's going to give you insights into your competitors. It's going to tell you technically, is your website sound? SEO tools are essential if you want to get your SEO efforts off the ground. Website hosting and maintenance obviously is going to play into it, as well as content creation. This is something that a lot of people overlook in terms of planning out how much they're budgeting for SEO. Is even if you're writing all these articles yourself, that's taking a lot of time from you. So a lot of people end up hiring external content experts. And then you need images and hopefully some videos and the formatting. So there's definitely expenses that are involved in the SEO process, even if you're doing it just by yourself. Which leads to the question, and this is a very hard question in my industry. What is the ROI of SEO? It's a really hard question to answer, honestly, because you're investing into these SEO efforts. How do you know you're going to get it back? And how do you start calculating if you're getting that back? Now, I'm going to give you 3 different examples of ways that we can calculate ROI. The first one is the simplest. If you're an e-commerce site, then you're in luck because it's pretty simple. All you have to do is set up Google Analytics, which is a free platform provided by Google, and it's going to track for you. It's going to track how many items were purchased, how much was that item. It's going to give the total revenue. And luckily, Google Analytics, you can filter out what source that traffic came from. So you can say, okay, what's my total revenue for this time span just from social media or just from Google organic search, SEO? So this is the easiest way to see. You hire an SEO company, and then you'd see how much more revenue you're bringing in after they have implemented their strategy, and you're all good. You have a nice little number attached. The problem comes when you are not e-commerce. You're not selling something on your website. You're bringing people to your website to either complete a form fill or pick up the phone and call you. This is where it gets a little tricky. One way that we end up doing this, and again, an SEO tool comes into play here, is just through the traffic data. So this is a pretty basic idea here. You look at how many of all your website visitors, how many of those convert into sales for you. In this example, in this blue box, you can see it's about 1 out of every 100 website visitors end up converting, whether that's picking up the phone and calling or entering a form fill or something like that. And then you want to look at what is the average revenue for every one of those customers. And then what these tools do, it's a lot simpler. This used to be a lot more manual, but it breaks out, it shows you how much traffic you're getting, and based on these numbers, what's your estimated income just from your SEO efforts. This example, this is one of my clients who has a location in Maryland, one in Virginia, and one in Pennsylvania. That's actually really convenient that you can kind of break it out like that. You can see which location is bringing in more estimated income than the other. Is it perfect? Is it super accurate? No, but does it give you a really nice, kind of easy to understand view in a ballpark range? Absolutely. The next one is pretty similar actually, but it's a little more in depth. I like using this, but it's a little hard. I'll get into it. Lead value. This is simply calculating how much is a lead worth to you. So the simple math here is you take a certain time span, let's say last year, 2023. What was your total revenue? Divide that by the total amount of leads you got in, and that gives you a nice lead value number. It gives you something to grab onto, right? Now, you're going to need, for this method, you'll probably want a nice CRM, such as, I'm not sure if Shannon from Transformation Group is in here, but they have a tool called SAM that's really good at this, and it'll tell you exactly who converted, how many leads you got, how many converted into a sale, and where that lead came from, whether it's PPC or organic. And then it's pretty simple. You just calculate how many leads did you get from organic traffic that month, multiply that by the lead value, and bam, you get the total value of your SEO efforts. Now, again, are these numbers going to be perfect? Are they going to be 100% accurate? No. But if you're trying to budget and figure out how much should I be investing, am I getting that back? This is a really good place to start to gain an understanding of that. The other tricky thing with doing this is that SEO does take time. I really want to make this clear because a lot of people think that SEO is something that can happen really fast. Oh yeah, just SEO my website, and then boom, you're up in the search rankings. It does take time. This is a screenshot of a client that I've been working with for a good few years now. And you can see I started working with him back here in 2021. And at that time, he was getting probably normally no clicks a day, but sometimes 1-2 clicks a day. And it took, I think we got his first real conversion. Super good lead from organic. Probably, I think it was 5 months after I started working with him. It was a brand new site, which plays into it. And then you have a lot of hurdles. You have to restructure the site. There's a lot of things you want to focus on that I'll talk about a little bit later, but it does take time. And this depends very heavily on what industry you're in. If you're a brand new website, your first day live, or if you're a website with 10 years of history, the competition, how the search results look for your industry. There's a lot of different factors here that play into how quick you can expect that first lead if you start really focusing on SEO. But even if everything works out right, it's going to take time. We grew over time, by the way, and now this client is getting, I think, anywhere from 50 to 100 leads every week from his website. So it worked out really well for him. And he just does SEO. There's a little bit of social media, but really focuses on SEO. But the good news here, and the reason that I was drawn to SEO in the first place, is that results are longer lasting. Like I mentioned, there's no on or off button with SEO. This is a graph here of a different client that you can see in green here. This is the traffic coming in from SEO. And in the blue is traffic coming in from Google Ads, pay-per-click. And you can see here in May, they wanted to test PPC, how Google Ads are going to work for them. They turned it on, they set up their campaigns, put some money into Google, and bam, their traffic shot way up. It turns out that the leads that they were getting weren't converting, and they weren't getting that ROI, right? So a month later, they switched it off, and bam, they're out of the search rankings for Google Ads. So the reason I like SEO is when you're developing a strategy and you're building it to last. And essentially, when you're ranking in the top 3 positions, there's a lot of things that can knock you out, but you can set it there for a little bit and hope that it just stays in that number 1 spot for a long time. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes, Google is constantly changing their algorithm and changing their rankings. But if you build a really nice website with really great content, then the hope is that if you're up in that number 1 spot, that lasts you for a long time. And you just keep creating new articles and keep going up, 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 up. This scenario, this is actually a case of an algorithm update that lost visibility for them. And you can see they decided to kind of boost that with a little bit of PPC budget. This is a pretty common practice. While SEO is getting off the ground, or if there's a dip in your SEO, they can kind of boost it a little bit with some PPC until SEO is back on its feet. So let's go into, now is the time I want to talk about developing your SEO strategy. And as a professional SEO, it's kind of my goal in the world to let people know how search works. It is very important when understanding how to get started doing SEO, is you really want to understand at a basic level how search engines work. And again, we're going to use Google here as an example, but the other search engines work in a very similar way. It all starts with little Googlebot here. Googlebot is a web robot, sometimes called a crawler or a web spider. And really what it does is goes out into the World Wide Web and crawls all of the different websites and web pages. So it comes across your website and it looks at your pages and it has a decision to make. Googlebot's going to look at, is the content on this website, on this web page, I'm sorry, is it unique? Or is it just copied from some other website? Is it relevant to anything anybody ever searches? Is it spammy? Are they going to try to steal your credit card information? Is it a good user experience? Google wants to reward or feature the websites that searchers will enjoy. So if they put something in the number 1 spot, you click on it, it's ads all in your face, and you have to X out of all of them to see any of the content. This is a really bad user experience, and that user may stop trusting Google. So user experience is really important. But Googlebot's going to look at all these things and a lot more and decide whether it wants to put it aside, I'll come back later, recheck it, or put it into Google's index. So Google's index is, you can think of it like a giant library of all of the different web pages that Google has at their fingertips to serve up to any of their searchers. If you're in the index, does that mean you're ranking? Not necessarily. I'll talk about that in a second. But the goal here is to make it into Google's index. Now, on the other side, we have a searcher who's searching something, like my cat wants to kill me. He's going to type it into the search bar, send it off, hit enter, and then Google's going to fetch all the relevant data, all the relevant web pages that it has for that query that it believes matches up with that query, and it's going to fetch it from the index. Now it's going to push it back to the user, but before it does that, it's going to run through Google's ranking algorithm, or they call them systems. They're ranking systems. There are hundreds of different ranking systems, and it's part of my job to study every single one of them to understand how Google ranks its results. Then it's going to tie it up in a nice pretty bow, make it look pretty in the search engine result page. That's called a SERP. That's just the page that you get when you type something into Google and you search. That page looks different depending on the industry and the search term. So it's going to make it look all pretty, and then it's going to pop up on your screen in a matter of less than a second normally. So really what this comes down to, why this is important for you, is because there's 3 very important steps that you need to focus on as a website owner. Number 1 is the crawling process. There are many times accidentally that sites have came to me. Well, they didn't come to me accidentally, but they come to me and accidentally they had blocked crawling in one way or the other on their website. Step 1 in this whole process is making sure little Googlebot here can see and analyze your website. And there are definitely ways, several different ways, that Googlebot can be restricted from accessing your website. So normally, if you're set up on a Wix or a Squarespace, or WordPress gets a little dicey, but WordPress too, you're probably not going to have a problem with this. But it can definitely happen, and it's something that you want to check. Now, once you know that Googlebot can crawl your website, now it's a matter of getting into the index. Are your web pages worthy of making it into Google's index? If you're not getting into the index, you got some problems. This is in order, right? So to get indexed, you have to be crawled. And to rank, you have to be indexed in the first place. So ranking is where normally when people think of SEO, they're thinking about the step 3 here, the ranking algorithm. And this is all about outranking your competition. If you asked me right now, you say, Adam, I have a new product. It's called a Fezziwig or something weird like that. Can you get me ranking in the number 1 spot? Yes, I can do that in 10 days, guaranteed, because that's not something people search for, right? So you're the only one. There's no competition for that random word. So ranking really all comes down to, how are you making yourself better than your competition? There's a lot of nuances there, but that's the gist of it. So with this in mind, let's talk about the steps to develop a nice SEO strategy. Now, developing an SEO strategy is my whole job. It gets very complex, but I'm imagining you're sitting there with, a small business, and you want to get off the ground. You want to see if it's worth it to try to start investing into SEO. This is a really good place to start. The first thing I want you to do is establish a baseline. This is something people forget to do all the time. And really what this requires is trying to see, are you currently getting any traffic? How many leads are you getting from your website right now? Are you visible at all on Google searches for any relevant topics or search queries? If you search for your business name on Google, what's coming up? Is it your website? Or are you absent? Or are you being outranked? This is all really important stuff to understand before you start getting into SEO, so that you know if what you're doing is working and where you need to start. 2 really good tools for this. If you own a website or work for a business that has a website, Google Search Console, Google Analytics are both free tools. You should absolutely have them, and they'll tell you all the information you need to know about these questions and a lot more. The next step here is going to be technical SEO. This is, for most people, the most boring part for me, it's most exciting. I specialize in technical SEO. Technical SEO is all about the technical aspect and really the first two steps of those three steps that we just went over. Understanding, is your website able to be crawled by Google? Is the user experience good enough to get into the index? And am I a spammer? There has been several times that an organization or a company has come to me and I would look at their website, audit their website and say, hey, you know that this is a spam tactic, right? And that's why you're not getting into the index. They're like, wait, I'm a spammer? I had no idea. People do this all the time in my industry. And I'm like, yeah, it's Google's looking at it as spam. So by definition, you're a spammer. And it blows people's minds. But that's step one, is understanding technically if your website is eligible to get into the index and to start ranking. Now, a lot of these things for the everyday person are not, you're not going to be able to understand this very well and try to see if this is a problem or not. So this is where talking to a web developer or talking to an SEO like myself is going to be important. It's a pretty quick check to understand if there are any crawling issues on your website, but you may have to talk to somebody to help you out with that. If you're already in Google search results, you can probably be pretty sure that you're okay. There still may be some issues down the road, but in general, if you're showing up in the search results, then you're good with this step. After technical SEO, we get into targeting our topics. This is where the fun starts. So you can use SEO tools for this, and you type in something. My example here is dentist, and it's going to give you all these different topic areas. So cavities, tooth care, dental hygiene. This tool is called SEO Clarity. This will also tell you when people search dentist, a lot of times they'll go back to the search results and type in something a little more specific. So it's showing you what searches did they make after they search for just dentist. And the results here are root canal, dental implants, and this starts to get you a really good idea of, okay, what can I be putting on my website that's going to be helpful to searchers looking for my business? So automatically you can start thinking, okay, maybe I do a page about root canals, a page about implants, a page about dental cleaning, and you start formulating your ideas that way. Now we're on to competitor analysis. So once you have those topics in mind, you know what type of search terms that you want to be ranking for, go to Google, see who's already ranking in that spot. Is there anybody that's dominating the industry, like TripAdvisor? What are they doing right? What do they have? What kind of topics are they talking about that you're not? Is their team more qualified to be talking about that topic than you? And then finally, how can you do everything that they're doing, but do it better? How can you give the user a better experience than your competitors? Once you have all of that understanding, now we get into content creation. Now we can put pen to paper or fingers to keyboards and start actually putting content onto our website. And there's two really, really important points that I want to make when it comes to content creation. The first one is create content for your audience. Google has been on a rampage lately with core updates and all these different algorithm tweaks. There's a core update actually rolling out right now that is punishing websites that are building their website and putting out content just for SEO. We've all seen the websites. I know it's not really related, but the Amazon results, if you're looking for a black shirt, extra large shirts that are black, short sleeve, black shirt. Users are getting really, really tired of this. And so is Google. Those sites that are trying to stuff in different keywords and topics, and they're obviously just trying to cheat their way into that top spot, is not going to work for much longer, I promise you. So really shift your understanding of content creation into creating what would be helpful for your audience. That's all you have to worry about. If you're writing a page about dental cleaning, what would they want to know? Would the searcher want to see dental cleaning 17 times in the first sentence? No. They want to know, how much is dental cleaning? Where's your location? How do you go about your dental cleanings? What makes your dental cleanings better than others? What kind of doctors do you have doing the dental cleanings? So what else can be helpful for them about that topic? Finally, this is the second one is something I see a lot, especially lately. I've been seeing this a lot more. Everybody keep in mind that you want to pick a single page that you want to rank for each topic. All of those topics in the dentist example I gave, whether it's implants or dental cleaning or cavities, have a single page for each of those topics and cover it thoroughly. What would they want to know? And I want to give you a couple examples here. If I'm searching for music lessons in Chicago, here's my bad example. This is one website. I'm so sorry if the website owner of this is on this webinar. If it is, please reach out to me and I can help you because I'm not going to hold back any punches here. This is one page. I just put it side by side. So right away, we can see some things or not see some things. Be the change you want to hear, right? You can't really read the B. It's really hard to make out. You better believe that Googlebot is looking at readability, contrast, accessibility, everything like that is very important to Googlebot, and it's important to users as well. So just the fact that these letters go off this shape drives me crazy, makes you want to throw this computer out of the window. And then we can look at like the more detailed stuff, like what I was just talking about. So music lessons for adults. Okay, that's one topic, right? If you scroll down, lessons in Chicago. Okay, that's two topics technically. Lessons in Los Angeles, that's three. And then at the very bottom, they have a buy our online course. That's four. So if people are searching for online courses, they have to scroll through all of this stuff to get to the part where they talk about online courses. And also, everything just lacks information here. There's no information about this course. If a user lands on this page and scrolls all the way down to find out about online courses, what type of things are in this course? How long is the course? I know how much it is. Who's teaching the course? So everything just kind of lacks information a little bit, even on this lessons in Chicago. Think from the user's perspective. If I'm searching for lessons in Chicago, the first thing I want to know likely is where are the lessons? Is it online? Is it physically at your location? Where's your location in Chicago? What makes you different? What makes you better than the other music lessons that are offered in Chicago? So this is my example for you of what not to do. And now we can move on to our good example. One of my favorite, this is a very robust SEO team that does a really, really good job. School of Rock. I use them as an example of good SEO all the time. Right away, okay, I'm just going to go back and forth real quick so you can see the difference. Pretty. Automatically, you could just see the contrast here. The color contrast makes it really easy to read. The font's a good size. Everything's readable. Everything looks clean and professional. Which, again, that's not just personal opinion. Googlebot has different ways that it looks at, is this website readable? And is the rest of the user experience good or not? On the left side here, this is the main menu. If you're looking at your phone, it's a mobile view. Main menu is very clear. It has everything laid out very clearly. You can see overview here. That's probably just about music lessons in general, how they do it differently. And then they have a separate page for guitar lessons, drum lessons, all these different things. We call this website architecture. It's the way you structure your website and link to things. And this is a very good example of good website architecture. And then we look at guitar lessons for beginners, this page right here. And right away, you can see guitar lessons, including scales, chords, tuning, arpeggios, and rhythm. So automatically, you know, oh, okay, I know what I'm going to be getting from these lessons and how this is going to work. Then they use famous rock songs to help guide guitar students through early stages. They're highlighting what they're doing differently. Instead of just doing boring things, they're using famous rock songs to teach. Now, if I'm looking for guitar lessons, this is probably something that's going to stand out to me. And think, whoa, cool, they do it a lot differently. And then it's a little bit cut off down here at the bottom, but this is a video. So they're including really helpful images and videos to try to convert that visitor. It's just helpful for searchers to consume things in different ways, whether that's text on a page or a video or an audio clip, whatever it may be. Really good use of images and media, really not good view of images and media. Then when we look on the actual location page, School of Rock has hundreds of locations. They have a different page for every one of their locations, which is fantastic. Right away, they're showing you the map, the address here, the phone number. It's going to tell you the hours they're open. If you scroll down, it gives you the different teachers that are at that school. So they're doing a really good job of answering searchers' questions in entirety. Answer the question, make the case for your business or your organization being better than your competitors. So once more, establishing your baseline, making sure your site is technically sound, you have that foundation, you're not going to run into any roadblocks on the technical end. Start targeting your topics, research your competitors, and then you can start creating content, helpful content that answers users' questions in their entirety. And that's a really good start to developing an SEO strategy. Hopefully that was helpful. We got plenty of time for questions. So I am going to open it up now. I see we have a chat box here. If anybody has any questions, please go ahead and pop them in. Unless, Zoe, would you like me to turn it over to you before I do that?
Sorry, our phone just started ringing. Yeah, we can just look out for any questions. If you have any questions, be sure to pop them in the chat. Now is your chance to have them answered live.
Lots to go over here. Whether it's ROI stuff, if it's strategy, if anybody's running into any issues with their websites, go ahead and pop them in there. I'm happy to take a look for you. If not, also I can share these slides as well, and I have my you can reach out to me anytime, LinkedIn, email, social media, all of that stuff.
Looks like Grace said, thank you for the info. Great presentation, which I agree. I took a lot of
Thank you. It was packed a lot in there.
Oh, it looks like someone put a link to their website and asked, can you give me suggestions?
Yeah, let's do a live audit. These are my favorite.
Oh, and then after that, we have another question in the chat. So we'll text.
All right. I can't see the website link.
Oh, let me see. Do you have the little Q&A thing at the bottom of
I
your
do.
and you can't see
Yeah.
that?
No,
Let
might have been
me-
sent to you.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat to you and let me know if you can't see it.
There we go. And we're getting a lot of questions in now. So let's
People
let's go through here and let's take a look at this website. These live audits are really fun. All right. And we got a good 10 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at this. So this is RabFat Construction. Okay, so right away, pretty good, good user experience so far, just from very first look at it. You got a nice about. So these abouts are pretty good. It might be worth it. So the about section of websites, about you, mission, vision, values, all very good stuff to put on your website, mainly for users. But Google does also look at these things to make sure that you're, a trustworthy business and to see your team's accreditations. Are you qualified to be talking about the stuff that you're talking about? We have a services, a gallery. So let me go into services first. I'm going to have my Q&A open. All right. Looks like we got 6 different services here. Good to go. Pretty good amount of information. Diverse media is going to be pretty important. I'm not too familiar with this industry. I don't have any current clients in this industry, at least. So I'm not exactly sure what your user is going to expect to see on these pages. But by default, I like to suggest if you have videos and different types of media like that, mainly videos, that would be a great place to put this. Maybe more pictures of different projects you do. I do see you have a gallery here. Let's hop over there. All right, we saw a little jump there. So if we load that page again, see how it kind of hangs up for a little bit and then it pops on. It's not a big deal. Google does care about site speed and how fast things load. This is an image heavy portion of the website, right? Oh, there we go. We got some good video here. Perfect. So this is really good. But yeah, maybe you want to look at this page in terms of site speed, see if it's loading fast enough. And this gallery, I like these pictures here. I would definitely put some supporting text with these to show what the project is about. If you are, I'm not familiar, but if this is a local business, if you specialize in construction in one specific area, I would definitely suggest putting where your projects are taking place. So for example, if this is in Omaha, this picture right here, if you type in below a little caption that says, a project that we did in Omaha doing this, this, and this, that gives you a lot more ability to rank for construction companies, Omaha, searches like that. So either way, pictures without any text, for me, normally is a missed opportunity to get some more copy onto your website and let Googlebot understand what these pictures are a little bit better. Google can see images and understand them, but it really relies on things like alt text in the code and supporting captions like that. These gallery pages too, I've suggested a lot of websites in similar industries. Like I work with a home renovation company. A lot of times I suggest that they break these out into, so when it's gallery, maybe you have a page for each one of the projects that you've done with different pictures, different words like where that took place, what challenges did you face. All of this stuff performs really well for users and for search. The last thing I'll say about this is I don't see anywhere where you have like insights, or I try to avoid the word blog because it sounds so bloggy, but that's really where you can excel in SEO, is when you start providing extra helpful information to searchers. I think that's about all the time I can spend on that right here. If you'd want me to take a longer look, though, feel free to reach out to me, and I can take a deeper look. Our audits are generally very very in-depth. It takes months to go through and make sure everything's in place where it should be. So that was just a quick little glance into it. All right, I got a couple of other ones here. All right. Can you go, oh, Monica, I know you. Can you go into more detail about what makes content or a website spammy? Yeah, the spam, like I said, it's a constant cat and mouse game between Google and spammers. From the beginning, people have been trying to trick Google's algorithm, and it works, and then it doesn't. So Google has a whole list. I can send it after this, or I can send it to Zoe to send to all of you. A whole list of different things that could be considered spammy in Google's eyes. They have this documented on Google, developer tools. There's lots and lots of different things you can be doing, most of the time intentionally, but also on accident that could be considered spammy. One of them is, doorway pages, which are when you land on a website and it automatically redirects you to another website. This is a spam tactic. The most common of which we see is keyword stuffing. So if you want to rank for dental cleaning Chicago, and you've all seen it online, I'm sure you have, but you get to a page and it says dental cleaning in Chicago, dental cleaning in Chicago, Niles. Come here for dental cleaning. Our dental cleaning is the best dental cleaning. This is keyword stuffing. It used to work a long time ago. It is penalized and is looked at as spam now. So you got to be really careful. And really, the best way to avoid this is, like I said in the presentation, just write how you would write talking to your searcher or the end user. Let the SEOs focus on the technical side of things and the strategy and what you should be writing about next that could get the most visibility in search results. But when it comes to actually developing the content, just do what's good for the user. All right. The query stat was fascinating. I love that stat. That's one of my favorite stats. The trillions. All right. Here we go. I get emails from Google always telling me my site has been, let me go see what the wording is. I get this failed for page indexing. Yes. So this is a problem with getting into Google's index. So I mentioned those 3 steps, right? Crawling, indexing, and ranking. Those are the 3 big steps you want to look at. If you're getting the message that pages are failing to get into the index, that means you're not passing that index step. So I'd have to really look at the website to understand why. But the most common reasons I see are just really, really low quality pages. If you put a page out there that has, a very limited amount of content, there's nothing really there, there's nothing for Google to understand or chew on, then they'll ignore it and they'll come back later. If it's a duplicate, and spammers do this all the time, but if you steal another website's content and put it on your website and try to get it into the index, Google has a deduplication system that they look at. They want to make sure that nobody's doing that, so you won't get into the index. The good news is that Google will come back to your website. They don't completely discount you and never come back and consider you for indexing again. They come back often to see if anything's changed. So start focusing on creating really helpful content, robust content that answers questions, and hopefully you'll get into the index there. I'd love to see a walkthrough of Search Console and analytics. We're a little limited on time for walkthroughs or other mini site audits, but that's actually a good idea for another either another webinar or a video or something like that. I'm sure we could set that up at some point.
Yes, we can.
There's a lot of really cool things you can do in analytics and Search Console, and it's free. Yay. All right. Well, Zoe, what do you think? I got a couple more mini audit requests. Can do those, or we can wrap it up here. I know we're sitting at time.
We can do those last two. It's not a big deal if we go a little past one. I don't have anything going on after this. So if you're happy to, we can, or if you want them to contact you after, that's works too.
I'm very happy to. This is my favorite thing to do, honestly.
Beautiful.
And it's always very hard. I mean, I spend a lot of my day telling people their website's ugly. So
kind of
it's
laughing
hard.
at the screen at that.
Okay. Oh, this is pretty. Rocco fashion style. I like this. Was this the one? There was a comment in there that said it was where was it? Let me see. Is this from a Wix site? Where did I see this?
Oh, I think that was a different. That was
a different one. Okay. This is a different one. Okay. So we look good here. Okay, so we're e-commerce, right? Yep, we're e-commerce. E-commerce is a whole different ballgame. You have a whole different set of challenges than kind of service area businesses. The SERPs, the search engine result pages, look a lot different. If I do this, if I'm searching for baseball gloves, which is just my example here, this search engine result page, this SERP is going to look a lot different than other queries. You see the filter by on the left side, and then you have these panels here these have been increasing over the last couple of years. You're seeing these pop up a lot more, these little cards. You get this, I'm sure the owner of this website knows, but you get this through Google Merchant Center. You put in all your product information and you're eligible to have these pop up. So let's see. Ooh, create, is this a cool? So I'm guessing you can customize things here. And this is, you also have a lot of challenges with indexability. So for example, let's go to Performanceware. Let me give you an example here. So you have a challenge. If you have a single product like this, we call this a PDP, a product detail page. What we want on this page is, I can tell you right now, a lot more content on this page about this drawstring backpack. You have all the color options here. Google can see these, but there is a benefit sometimes to having it where I click on black, the title changes to black value drawstring backpack. That way, when people are searching for color plus drawstring backpack, you can show up for all of those specific colors. One other comment I have right here is up in the tab. I don't know if y'all can see this. Yeah. Up in the tab, this is your title tag. Title tags in like the header. So where it says value drawstring backpack here. These are both extremely important to ranking. They're huge ranking factors. This is step one for Google to understand what's on this page. So there's a couple of missed opportunities here. Number one, you can make these two different, the heading and the title tag. You can make the two different in order to give Google more context. So I see you have the brand name in the title, which is perfect. That's really good. Somebody that does this really, really well is Lulu's. I think it's just lulus.com. They have a fantastic SEO team. But if I'm looking at dresses, you can see their title tag is, we have an annoying pop-up. The title tag is dresses for women here. Best women's dresses online. Is it a little bit Amazon, spammy? Kind of. But something like this is what I'm talking about. You can use the title tag to put a little bit more context in there for Google to understand. So I would definitely give those recommendations. And I think here I haven't, again, it's my first look at the website, but my first reaction would be more content in probably more of a graspable way. I mean, this is one, oh, that's cool. Support a host of social service or given to the homeless children and veterans in need. See, I would highlight that a lot more. I would make that its own call out below. That's really cool for me to read it. It also just gives more content, more context for Googlebot as well. Should we do one more?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's do this one. Nelson Brand. So this is the one that was a Wix site. Wix, I have a couple family members that just started their own business, and they went with Wix. Wix is getting a lot better in SEO optimization. You used to be a little handcuffed in Wix. That's why a lot of us used WordPress. You had a lot more freedom to do stuff. Wix has become very good. All right. Right away, a couple things. The blue on red is a little bit hard to read. Like I mentioned, this is something that Google looks at. They look at the contrast between, you actually get an alert in Search Console sometimes that'll say text is difficult to read. So I'm imagining this might fall under that category. That's a tiny thing. All right. Again, readability here might be a little bit difficult. Okay, we're e-commerce here too. Oh, this looks really good, doesn't it? Perfect. Okay, I think this, so what we talk about a lot, I'm going to look at this in mobile view. The reason that I do that is because when Googlebot crawls websites, it's crawling their mobile versions, not their desktop versions. So when my family member was creating their website, Wix, I told them, make sure, force yourself to design the website in mobile view and not in desktop view. So let's take a look in mobile. And if I'm holding a phone here, we call where the bottom of the screen, if the page loads, the bottom of the screen is going to be the fold. We call that the fold. And ideally, you want text like this, like enjoy our special premium. You want that above the fold. So I'm not sure, this is just a rendering of the mobile version. I'm not sure if I were to use my actual phone, if this enjoy our special premium Nelson brand ham was above the fold or below. If it's below, I would definitely suggest minimizing the size of this slider right here and moving that up a little bit. I would also slap a logo on top of here just for looks. Menu looks good. Let's take a look at products here. So obviously e-commerce is pretty straightforward, like 6 to 8 pound spiral cut ham. What search term do you want to rank for that product? Well, probably 6 to 8 pound spiral cut ham. So we have one picture. I'd probably have more pictures right off the bat. I would say I would show how it gets delivered. So in its packaging, I would take a picture of that. Any other picture, this is a really pretty picture, but I would definitely add some more. I've found that adding, for the couple of e-commerce clients I have, adding just a couple of images helps increase rank a little bit sometimes. You know, personalize a message, cool. So again, same as the last site we looked at, I would definitely have more content here. Oh, there is a read more. All right, not too much, but this stuff, I would put it like they come in a Nelson brand box and bag. I would definitely put a picture of those up above. Maybe put this in a little bit more of a bullet list. And then just start to think about somebody looking for this. What type of concerns would they have when they're trying to buy this spiral cut ham online? What are they thinking? Are they worried that it's going to go bad? Are they worried that, you know, how long is delivery going to take? I'm sure you have that somewhere probably in the process, but I would, you know, pop it on here. Any question that you imagine that they might have, put it on this product detail page, and you'll have a lot higher chances of ranking for all these different type of search queries. All right, and any of these sites, again, if you want to reach out to me on LinkedIn, or my email, by the way, is adam@atagro.com, ATIGRO, adam@atagro.com. Please reach out anytime. I'd be happy to set up a call and, you know, go through some things with you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Adam, for answering those questions and of course, presenting today.
Of course, I'm going to send my email in that chat right now.
Yeah. And I will note his email will be in the recording send out. So if you happen to not be able to catch it in the chat, it will say contact the presenter Adam by emailing. So no worries if you have any other questions or want him to check out your website. That was awesome to do live and see live, of course. But again, thank you, Adam, for presenting. We hope to have him back. This webinar was super popular, so me and him will definitely chat about some other topics we can do. And of course, thank you to all the participants that joined live. And if you didn't make it live, we missed you, but we're happy you're watching the recording at your own time. If you have any questions for the Grow team or need anything for your business to help you grow, feel free to give our store a call and any of our team members would be happy to help you out. Or you can shoot me an email at zoe@grownebraska.org. And then we have some great upcoming trainings. Our next one is April 25th, which is next Thursday. And Allo is going to cover Allo's growth and leveraging social media to find new teammates. And then we'll have our May 1st one with Maria, and she will cover how to use YouTube to grow your business. And then the third Thursday in May, May 16th, we'll be creating a marketing plan that works a step-by-step guide for startups. And that will be with Josefina Loza, who has presented for us in a webinar and at Market Tech as well. And feel free to scan this QR code, or you can go to grownebraska.org, and under the upcoming trainings tab, you'll see all our trainings. We have them all the way up until June. So register now and you won't have to worry about forgetting, and you'll get reminders, of course. And then follow Grow Nebraska on social. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, you name it, we're on it. We do post all our trainings there, as well as some awesome Nebraska products you can purchase. And then also we have started doing Tip Tuesday. So we threw out some tips for you and your business. And then also leave the Grow Nebraska a Google review. We always do a little dance behind our laptops once we get a Google review. So we would love to read about how we've helped grow your business and the services that you have enjoyed. I just want to check the chat box. Oh, Christine said, thank you, Adam and Zoe. Jesus said, awesome feedbacks. Thanks again. You guys rock. Grace said, thanks. So thank you to all of you as well. And that is all. So I'll get the recording sent out to everyone with Adam's contact information. And I hope you all have a great rest of your week.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Zoe.
Mhm.